Oh my goodness, guys. Season 1 of Marvel Rivals just started. Yeah, just started. And it's time to go look at the lore and see how much more lore they added to the game. Let's look at Human Torch and just see how much. Maybe. Let's look at Captain America. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. They didn't add more lore for any of the characters. For and I don't get really why they did that, but it kind of looks like they might be just releasing it when it matters. Like now, Black Panther has another one, but it's just talking about him versus Dracula, which is like okay, but that doesn't really help us set up stuff for future seasons, I guess. But we already made a concept on what season 2 could look like in the last video of Avengers vs. the X-Men. And from what it seems like, they might not be doing that. They might be going for more of a Hell Gala thing, from what some leakers and creators have found. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about what season 3 could even look like, even though it's so far away. But it's all connected to one thing, Storm. And you might say, why would it be Storm? Wouldn't there just be an X-Men season in season 2? Well, yes, but this will be not really connected to the X-Men, but also super connected to the X-Men. If any of you guys understand what I'm about to say, then you might get what I'm gonna say, but it's also very complicated. Season 3 of Marvel Rivals would be purely about the Brood. I might have said that way, I don't really know. I'll put the name on the screen. But the way we get there is so complicated with Storm. So look at this. It says roaming with a conti. A conti. I think that's how you say it. I'll just go with a conti for the rest of the video. But basically, the conti. The conti are giant floating shark dolphin space creatures. I'll have a picture of it on the screen right now. And they just float around the galaxy. And I am guessing Storm's going to be floating around with them in the galaxy, kind of, for some reason. In Dreamly Dew, this talks about her Krakoa island and Alako island get like smashed together, and that's in space. So something will be happening in space between Krakoa and Alako, probably in season 2. Maybe they get back apart, maybe they stay together, but then that will relate to the Akantai. Akantai. I'm just gonna say floating dolphins from now, space dolphins from now on because it's such a weird name. So, but anyways, the space dolphins. How do they relate to the Brood at all? So the space dolphins first, they're just giant creatures in space that float around, but something so weird about them, they can go at the speed of light. They're super fast for no reason. But the reason they're important, they are all not, well, they're not controlled, really. They have a thing called a prophet singer. Do you, could you guess what a prophet singer does? Nope, they don't sing. They are the soul of this space dolphin race, and when they die, the soul of the space dolphins goes on to another person. I don't know why. Um, but the space dolphins are connected to this person. And then the Brood are some alien creatures that um see the space dolphins and are like, oh, we want to use them as like things to carry the stuff around. So they kidnap the person who is the prophet singer of the um space dolphins, and it's just like, oh, we're gonna use you so then we can use all the space dolphins however we want to. And I know this kind of just sounds like a lore dump on the Brood or the aliens and just all of this, but it will make sense in a minute. So, well, why do the Prophet Singers and the Space Dolphins matter? Because, I mean, why do those and the Balloon matter at all? Because when the Balloon take the Prophet Singer, it's on this ship, and the ship is called the the Kree the Kreewa ship, and well, anyways, the Kreewa ship is well owned by Lid Lil and Dra Na Amina Nam. I don't know how to say her name. She'll also be on screen with her ship right now. But anyways, she is the lover of Professor X. You probably remember her from X-Men '97 if you watch that. But her ship got attacked by the Balloon and has the Prophet Singer on it in the comics. And the reason this is so important, of her being there, of the Balloon being there, of the Space Dolphins being there, is Professor X sees that kinda with his mind, I don't know, and sends the X-Men up there to basically stop the Balloon from doing that in one of the older comics. And well, if the Hellgala is what's going to happen in season 2, then maybe it'll go from like, oh, the Hellgala happens, and then they get this message from Professor X that they have to go up to the ship and help her from the Blood or something like that. And basically, I personally think that Emma Frost and Jean Grey will come out in season 2, so they would come out and then get the message from Professor X that they have to go help him, and then another X-Men would come out in season 3. But, well, the X-Men are going up into space. Who's always in space fighting all the aliens and creatures and stuff? It's Captain Marvel. And so Captain Marvel is going to help them fight the Blood, because this is all based off of comics. This is basically the whole thing that happened in the comics. Captain Marvel, X-Men, go fight the Blood in this space warship, kinda, is what it is. And during this, Captain Marvel actually becomes binary and is all super strong and stuff. So that could be a skin, maybe that's a base version and Captain Marvel's the skin on top of that. But basically, so I think Captain Marvel will be a character in season 3. And the person to go along with Captain Marvel, I said Colossus. It could be Cyclops, it could be Nightcrawler, it could be Kitty Pryde. The reason I'm saying these people is they were all on the ship during the Blood, during when that happened. So that's the characters I think that could be possible because that's how it happened. That's who were on there first. And but one thing is, uh, Professor X's lover is a part of the Shio. She is a Shio captain, and the Shio is connected to so many things that could be in the next related seasons, like season 4, 5, 6. They could spread out 18 seasons just based off her enemies and friends. But also, that's the same that could happen with the Blood. The Blood have so many enemies or stuff that's happened to them that could just make more stories. So basically, I think this is actually the most likely thing that could ever happen because so many more stories could happen just because of this one story with the Blood. But that's all the story I think it would really be is they go into space, fight the Blood, help Professor X's lover, and all that would really be the story and what we would see in um, the lore entries and in the character stories on why they're getting added to the game. But that's just the story. You don't really have to care about the story if you just play the game normally. It would just be about what is the maps, what is the characters, what is the skins. And well, so I already said it. I think Captain Marvel will be added, and I think Colossus will be added because if Emma Frost and Jean Grey are added last season, those are more two DPS people. They could be a strategist, they could be a vanguard, but we don't really know. They just fell into that role easiest, that I'm guessing. And so then now a vanguard and Captain Marvel is probably a DPS. So at least two different roles probably. But then what would be the maps like? What would be the team ups? What would be the battle pass? I think there could be two maps. One map is the ship of Professor X's lover of the Shio captain, and basically it's one of the export missions where you have to bring someone along and or bring like right now there's a mission where you have to bring Herbie through the whole map, who's a professor. I mean, not a Professor X, who's a Fantastic Four member, kinda. You have to bring that robot across the whole map. Maybe um Professor X's lover is injured, and you have to bring her across the whole map and save her. And the other team is like the bad guy is trying to defeat her because they've been taken over by the Brood or something. That's what I think a good X-Score map would be. But then another map could be the Brood homeworld. I mean, not the homeworld. They just took this one over. It's called Sleaze World Comics, I guess. I don't really know. Or it could just be the Brood warship they have in the comics. That could be a map where it's like there's just a little Brood running around everywhere, and you gotta move the eggs throughout the whole map or something. You have to go to different spots and rescue some of the eggs, or fight in one spot to make sure none of the eggs get destroyed or something. That could be one of it. And then some team ups, because this game is mainly relying on the team ups between characters. If Colossus is added, he would obviously be able to be added to the fastball special thing that Hulk and the Thing have with Wolverine right now. And maybe Captain Marvel could have a team up with Captain America, and it's just like Leader's Might or something. I don't know, I'm just making ideas up. But then one thing that is key to this game especially is the battle pass, because it's a free game. Obviously that will be how they make the most money. And I just made the idea up of its space skins, kinda. And the reason it would definitely be like space skins or something is we kind of see um whatever the lore of the season is. Sometimes it doesn't relate to the character. Like the Fantastic Four don't really relate to Dracula at all. Dracula and the lore for this season is just made for a clever way to make skins all blood themed and cool like that. So since this season is about the Brood and aliens and space, I would give characters space skins. Like Spider-Man could get a symbiote variant. Maybe it's his scalier symbiote variant in that one issue where he just kills the Sinister Six. And maybe Iron Man gets his white spacesuit from the like Avengers game if you played that. And the people could just get space skins, or they could get um, alien skins where they're taken over. Maybe several characters taken over by the symbiote, or other aliens that take people over. I don't really know other aliens that take people over besides Venom and maybe Carnage and all those symbiotes. But I think that will be probably the end of this video, just saying that's what season 3 could be like. Space, the Brood, all of that. And that's really the only stuff I would say, because they didn't release more lore, so I can't be like, oh, this is gonna happen, because nothing really more is here to tell us, kinda. Like, I think the only other thing I could really see is, um, Black Panther's third piece of lore is talking about Deme Stowe. Maybe they're talking about Captain Marvel again. She's kind of a Stowe character. I don't really know. I know the Brood one time did land on Wakanda. Maybe they're talking about that. It's like a Stowe that fell down and it's aliens and they gotta go fight them. I don't really know what it could mean. But there's I'll keep looking at the titles of these and through the lore that's already out, and maybe we could make some random idea for season 5, because the Sheila Empire does connect to a lot of stuff. The Blood connects to a lot of stuff that we can make ideas for to make future upon future seasons. And if these videos do well, or if I'm just bored enough, I could go through every single character's lore name and say what it is. Maybe the Golden Sail that is out for Adam Warlock right now. I'll just make a full video about, yeah, blah 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 is this, if it even matters. And then Infinity Watch, I'm pretty sure that's a comic, a like whole comic line. Maybe that could mean a whole season where it's about Infinity Watch. And then Experiment 79 of the Enclave, I have no idea what that means, but it could mean something. So just if this video does well, I might make more of what could each character's little dialogue mean for maybe a whole season, maybe just a little event that goes on for them. Because a lot of random stuff could happen just for each character with the lore that's already been put out. So hopefully you like this video on what could happen in season 3 of Marvel Rivals with the Blood, and maybe sometime soon I can make a season 5 video based on something, or something close like that, maybe some events that would happen. But the events don't really seem to be about the lore, like Clone Rumble. That doesn't really mean anything, it looks like. But I don't know. Just see you guys next time. Maybe we'll have something about season 5. Maybe we'll have something about every single character's lore means a whole 1,000 seasons. I don't really know. But I'll try something next time. Bye.